Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to Tuesday night's reading of Out of My Mind, and we are going to try and read chapter 23 and 24, but we'll see how we're doing. So we're starting with chapter 23, and I hope everything went well today with Mrs. Torres. The day of the actual competition dawns bright and chilly. I shiver in the early March air as Mrs. V and I wait for my school bus. My jacket feels good. We've decided to use the manual chair today since the electric one, even the one with car ramps, is a little too heavy for Mom to handle on her own. You ready, Mellow Yellow? Mrs. V asked me. Oh, yeah. Your head feels like it's going to pop with all this fat stuck inside, she teases. Oh, yeah, I grin at her. You'll do fine. Better than fine. Dynamite. Possibly awesome, Mrs. V said. Oh, yeah, I push again. We'll all be downtown in the audience cheering you on. And the team? There are others on the team, she asked, smacking herself on her forehead. I thought you were a solo act. And teams from other schools. Don't worry, you're smarter than all of them put together, so we'll be cheering the loudest, your mom and dad and me and Penny. Do I look okay? Mrs. V looks me up and down. Like a television star, she replies. Your mom tucked an extra blouse in your bag, just in case. Catherine knows what to do. I'm glad Catherine will be going with us, and I think Mr. Dimming is glad as well. Tell me the plan again? Your mom will pick you up from school, take you to get a bite to eat, and get you to the TV studio, about 15 minutes before the rest of the contestants. Penny and your dad and I will meet you there. TV folks won't freak out when I show up? They're well prepared for you. Actually, it's possible a few reporters might be there and want to talk to you. Me? Why? I can't imagine why any news person would want to talk to somebody who can only talk through a machine. How boring. You're a wonderful human interest story. Other people might be interested in knowing more about you. They won't make fun of me? Just the thought of it makes my palms sweaty. Mrs. V takes my hand in hers. Not at all. They'll admire you, I'm sure. You're Spalding Street Elementary School's own personal Stephen Hawking. They're lucky. Hope so. Here's your bus. Have a great day, Melody. I'll see you tonight. I managed to get through the day without spilling anything on my clothes, and I'm relieved to see Mom when the last bell rings at school. After a quick meal of macaroni and applesauce in the car, smart Mom, nothing red, we head downtown. We find a handicapped parking spot right in front of the studio, and after the unusual unloading the chair down the car ramps, seating me and strapping me in, then attaching Elvira, we roll inside. The receptionist, a chunky, pleasant woman with lots of makeup and frizzy hair, directs us to the staging area. I have to blink a little to figure it all out. Everything you see on TV is fake. I see the place where they film the news. When I watch it on television at home, it looks like the news reporters are sitting in front of a huge window that shows all of downtown, but it's just a painting, and it's pretty small. So is the desk where the reporters sit. It seems so much bigger from home. I recognize a couple of the reporters who I watch every day. I can't believe how skinny the morning lady is. On TV, she looks normal size. I'm going to look like a huge balloon when the camera shows me. Speaking of cameras, they're huge, like giant black mechanical space beings on wheels. Guys with headphones and women with clipboards run around checking stuff. The back part of the studio is dark, but the place where the contest will take place is lit brightly. I can see where the teams will stand and the big buttons they'll push for the answers. In another room, behind all the cameras and the action, are the benches where the audience sits. Some people have already started to file in. I can see them through a large glass window. I jump when Catherine taps me on the shoulder. Fascinating, huh? For real, I type. She and Mom chat a bit before a man wearing jeans and a Cincinnati Bengals sweatshirt approaches us. Excuse me, he said to me, but are you Melody Brooks? Surprised, I quickly hit yes. My name is Paul, and I'm the stage manager. His huge hand swallows mine as he shakes it. I'm glad you're here early. Let's see if we have you set up correctly. We're really glad to have you participate. He spoke directly to me, not Mom or Catherine. I like him right away. We roll across the studio, careful to avoid cords and wires, and enter the area where the competition will take place. This is where the members of each team will stand, he explains. They each have 4 large buttons to push. Red is for the letter A, blue is for the letter B, yellow is for the letter C, and D, of course, is green. I nod. And here, Miss Melody, is where you will sit, right next to your teammates. I have rigged a special answer board just for you, so it's adjusted to the height of your wheelchair. He looks pretty proud of himself as he shows me the setup. Wow, I type, this is perfect. How'd you know? My son is in a wheelchair, he says with a shrug. I build stuff for Rusty all the time, but there's no way he could do what you're about to do. He kneels down so he can look me in the eye. Knock their socks off, champ. Rusty'll be watching. Okay, I type, for Rusty. He rolls me behind my answer board and lets me practice with the 4 color-coded buttons. Because they are so large, hitting the right one is actually easier than using my Medi-Talker. I don't even have to aim with my thumb. I can use my whole fist. When I hit the red button, the letter A lights up on the screen in front of me to lock in the answer. Thanks, Paul, I type. Very, very much. He winks, gives all the buttons a quick punch to make sure they light up, and then tells me he'll see me later. I can do this, I tell Mom and Catherine. I'm ready. The rest of our team starts to arrive. Connor, dressed in a black suit with a red tie, actually looks good. Rose, blushing and nervous, is wearing pale blue. Hi, Melody, she says. Are you scared? Nope, not at all, I type. My mom made me wear this tie, Connor complains, as he rolls his finger inside his shirt collar to loosen it. I hope I don't choke on live TV. If he does, at least the attention will be on him instead of me. What if I do something stupid or I start to drool and the camera does a close-up? Amanda, Rodney, Molly, and Elena, the alternates, all look a little sad as they wander around the studio. They won't get a chance to participate unless something happens to disqualify one of the 4 of us. I guess that includes Connor fainting or me convulsing. Are you okay? I hear Rose ask Amanda. Yeah, but it's just like I'm all dressed up with nothing to do. I feel you, Rose says. Break a leg, Amanda tells her. Really? Rose smiles. That's what you're supposed to say for good luck, Amanda explains. I know. But look at it this way. At the finals in Washington, there are 6 people on the team, so that opens things up a little. So go out there and win. Will do. Claire and Molly make funny faces in front of the cameras, pretending they're on the air. Neither speaks to me. Look, Claire, Molly says, her voice for once in awe of something. You can see your reflection in that camera over there. Do I look okay? Claire asks, smoothing her dress. You look great, Molly assures her. You know, it really ought to be you up there instead of Melody, Claire says loud enough for me to hear. Well, I'm ready if she messes up, Molly says back. I just shake my head and think, delete, delete, delete. No way am I letting their negativity mess me up. I have enough to worry about. Mr. Deming hurries in then, wearing a brand new navy blue suit, a fresh white shirt, and a red vest and tie. The whole team cheers, and Connor gives him a high five. He buzzes around for a bit like a nervous bumblebee. He checks on details, wishes us all good luck, and then goes to sit in the observation area. No teachers are allowed or near the students during the competition. Catherine is allowed to stand in the back behind the cameras just in case I have an emergency. Other teams start to fill the studio as well. One team from Green Hills Academy is dressed in Kelly Green sweaters. Not a bad idea, but the sweaters are ugly. Another team from Crown Elementary is wearing little fake crowns on their heads. That seems to me a little bit over the top. Our team hasn't done any special. They don't need to. They have me. All right, chapter 24. It's time. Camera's rolling, someone calls out. In 5, 4, 3, 2. He points to the man at center stage. The moderator, a slim guy with hair that looks like it has been glued into place, brushes a speck off his tuxedo, adjusts his red striped tie, and begins right on cue. Good evening, he says, with that perfectly modulated voice that announcers seem to be born with. My name is Charles Kingsley, and I'd like to welcome you to the Whiz Kids Southwest Ohio Regional Competition. Cheers all around. In 2 weeks, the winner of this competition will travel to Washington, D.C. to represent our area at the National Championships. More cheers. We wish the best of luck to all our young competitors. The studio quiets. The rules are simple, Mr. Kingsley explains. Teams will be asked 25 questions. Each correct answer from each four-member team is worth 1 point, so the maximum total team score is 100 points. He pauses so the camera can show the scoreboard. Then he announces, the two teams with the highest scores from all preliminary rounds will meet for what we call a quiz-off, so point totals are critical. The winner of the final set of quiz questions will be declared our local elementary school level champion and will proceed to the nationals in Washington. The team that emerges as the winner will appear live on national television on Good Morning America the next morning. Cheers and applause. Our first two teams to compete tonight will be Woodland Elementary and Spalding Street Elementary. Take your places, ladies and gentlemen. The four contestants from Woodland and the other three members of our team walk to the testing area, waving at the cameras. Catherine rolls me to my position. I can easily reach the buttons, and then she gives me a quick hug and walks away. I'd like to take a moment, Mr. Kingsley said, to introduce a very special participant in our competition tonight. Her name is Melody Brooks. The cameras all point in my direction. The studio lights are incredibly bright and hot. I blink rapidly. I feel damp and sweaty. Although the other contestants will stand, Melody will be seated as she answers the questions. We've made adjustments to our answer board so that she can access the button, but nothing else. I hear she's a fierce competitor. I try to wave, but I figure I look goofy and wobbly, so I put my hand down. Rose stands next to me, with Connor in the middle and Claire on the end. I feel like I'm going to throw up, I hear Claire whisper. Don't you dare, Connor hisses. We'll start with the practice round so you can familiarize yourself with our button system. Everybody ready? Which of the following is a mammal? A, cat, B, bird, C, turtle, or D, spider? Everybody, including me, pushes A, of course. The screens in front of us light up with the letter A. Don't you wish all the questions would be that easy? Mr. Kingsley asks, chuckling. Yeah, right. Remember two things, he reminds everyone. First, this is a team competition, and second, this is not a test of speed, but of accuracy. Teams get more points if all four contestants come up with the correct answer, and the two teams with the most points meet for the finals. Are we ready? Ready, the 7 contestants on stage answer. I start to hit the word ready on my board, but I decide to concentrate on the contest instead. Round 1, we'll have 25 questions. Let us begin. Number 1. I tense. Here we go. The average lifespan of an adult mayfly can range from A, 1 minute to 1 hour, B, 30 minutes to 1 day, C, 1 day to 1 week, or D, 2 weeks to 1 month. Bing, 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 bing. Everybody hits their buttons. Once the answers are locked in, the readouts are displayed. Everyone on our team answered B, and one person on the Woodland team answered A. Mr. Kingsley smiles and said, Woodland has 3 points and Spalding now has 4 with all correct responses. We can do this. I can do this. Bring on the next one. Number 2, he intones. The battles of Lexington and Concord in the American Revolutionary War were fought in what year? A, 1774, B, 1775, C, 1776, or D, 1777. That one's a little tricky. I pressed B. However, so does everyone else. The score is now 7-8. Mr. Kingsley continues. In literature, the word oxymoron means which of the following? A combination of contradictory words, the outcome of a sequence of events, an implied reference to a literary or historical event, or D, a symbolic story or narrative. I'm fairly sure the answer is A, but that word could mean big-headed crippled kid who thinks she can win in a national whiz kid competition. When the answer is shown on the screen, Connor got it wrong, and so did 2 members of the Woodland team. So the score is now set at Woodland 9 and Spalding 11. We're still up, but we have 22 more questions to go. The next question, Mr. Kingsley says, deals with math. Oh no, I'm dead meat. There are 2,357 paintings in the art museum. The museum has 124 rooms, which is a reasonable estimate for the number of paintings in each room. Yep, dead, rotten meat. Let's see. I've got to visualize a museum and rooms and lovely paintings. How many in a room? Not sure. Divide what into what? Not sure. I'm going to say 60. When the answer flashes as B, I feel like an idiot. But Rose got it wrong too, and so did two kids on the Woodlands team. The score stands at 13-11. By the time we get to the 25th question, I'm sweaty and thirsty, but I'm pumped. The lead has bounced back and forth between the two teams a couple of times. Sometimes they were in front of us, and sometimes we forged ahead with points. I got most of the language arts answers right, but the math questions stumped me. Connor can't spell, so he missed several of those questions. Rose is weak in history. Claire has trouble with science. The Woodland team was about the same. Some kids good in some areas, others good in others. We now come to the final question for our first two teams, Mr. Kingsley announced. He clears his throat and begins. A weather event that measured 6.5 on the Richter scale would be an A. Tornado, B. Hurricane, C. Earthquake, or D. Tsunami. Bing, 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 bing. I punch C and relax. I did not have a tornado spaz. Connor, Rose, and Claire all got the final question correct as well. Two people on the Woodland team answered hurricane instead. When the results are tallied, our team has a total of 81 points. Woodland ends up with 77. Congratulations, Spaulding, Mr. Kingsley said with a polished smile. The two highest scoring teams will meet for the final round later tonight. Good luck, and we hope we see you again. Victory for round 1. As the show breaks for a commercial, we are all escorted to a special waiting room in the back. The students from Woodland look really disappointed. That's it for them for the whole competition. All they can do now is watch as the second teams head to the stage for their session under the lights. Mom, Dad, Penny, Mrs. V, and Catherine are all waiting for me in the back room, hugging me and kissing me like I've won the lottery or something. Catherine does a little happy dance. Dad tells me he filmed the whole thing on his camcorder. You rocked, Melody, Mrs. V shouts. I'm so proud of you, sweetie, my mom says. Can I have a Coke? I type as quickly as I can. I feel breathless. Everybody laughs as Catherine rushes to find me a paper cup for the sodas that are sitting on ice in the waiting room for the contestants. Mom pours dribbles of the ice-cold Coke in my mouth, one sip at a time, making sure I don't spill on my shirt. I'm so thirsty, I don't even care that people from the other teams are staring at me. Mr. Dimming, after talking to Rose and Connor and Claire, bounds over to us beaming. This is such a thrill, Melody. You are amazing out there. I'm so proud of our team and extremely proud of you. Thanks, I tap. What's next? We wait for the next teams to compete, and then we'll meet and beat the other high-scoring team and pack our bags for Washington. Don't pack yet, I type with a grin on my face. I've been packed for 10 years, he tells me. I've just been waiting for the right team. This is our year. I just know it. He wanders off to talk to other parents. I never thought about what teachers dream about. I had no idea what a big deal this was for him. Rose comes over and squats down next to Penny. I like your hat, she tells Penny, who's holding Doodle closely and wearing a blue polka-dotted hat with a red feather. Wozy, Penny says gleefully. How's my favorite baby girl? Rose says in her voice. Wozy, Penny repeats. You did really good, Melody, Rose said to me. You too, I type. You think we have a chance for the finals? Yep. And Washington? Yep. And being on Good Morning America? Oh, yeah. Claire stays on the other side of the room with her parents, but Connor ambles over and stands next to Rose. You're okay, Melody, he said. You beat me on a couple of those. You rock in math, I tell him. I know, he replies with a grin, but I still can't spell. I hope they don't have any spelling questions in the finals. I gotta go to the bathroom, Rose says suddenly. I'm so nervous about the finals. She hurries out. I know what she means. Butterflies, moths, giant bumblebees flutter inside me. When we're on camera, it felt like it took a million years to complete our round. But in just a few minutes, the second set of contestants come back to the waiting room. The school with the little crowns won round 2 with 79 points. Then, within another half hour, Edison Elementary clinches the third round with a score of 80. Finally, a school called Perry Valley wins the fourth round with 82 points. just 1 point more than us. I watch them, Mrs. V tells me when they troop back in the room, excited and victorious. They're really good. Should we worry, I ask. Of course not. Our team is the best because they have a secret weapon, you. Suddenly, there's a rush of activity in the room as stagehands come in to get us. Perry Valley and Spalding Street, we need you back on camera for the finals. You are our 2 top scoring schools. Congratulations. We hurry back to our places. The lights seem brighter this time. Mr. Kingsley returns to his position, gets his microphone adjusted by the stage crew, and shouts, "Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final round of our regional Whiz Kids competition. The winners of this round will represent us all in Washington, D.C. in just 2 weeks. All members of the winning team, along with their chaperones, will receive an all-expenses-paid trip to our nation's capital, 3 nights in a hotel, and tours of the city. Trophy, trophy, someone yells. Oh, the famous Whiz Kids Competition Championship Award. The winning team in Washington gets to take that huge gold trophy. They receive a guest appearance on Good Morning America, and their school will receive a check for $2,000 to be used for academic endeavors." Lots of whoops at that. "Let us begin. Teams, are you ready?" "Ready," they all reply. I'm ready too. All right, guys. I know I said I'd see you tomorrow in the last video, but I made a mistake. I'm really going to see you tomorrow this time, though. Have a good night, and happy turkeying and your brainstem project. Bye.